You know, it's always been hard for me to trust anybody who can't answer a direct question.
Have you taken the prospect, the possibility of endorsing him off the table at this point?
It's not anything I think about. What I have said
is it off the table, Ambassador? It sounds like you are in a different place. Are people misinterpreting what you're saying? Have you moved to a place where you're no longer planning to endorse him?
Well, I think, first of all, if you talk about an endorsement, you're talking about a loss. I don't think like that. When you're in a race, you don't think about losing. You think about continuing to go forward. What I can tell you is I don't think Donald Trump or Joe Biden should be president. I don't think that we need two candidates in their 80s. I don't think we want a Joe Biden who calls his opponents fascists or a Donald Trump who calls his opponents vermin. No one wants that. I think people want a new generational leader that is going to go back to what the American dream is, what we want for our kids, in a place that's something that we can be proud of.
All you have to say is no. I wouldn't endorse Trump. That's it.
Let me try it this way. You did sign a pledge, an RNC pledge, to support the eventual nominee. Do you still feel bound by that pledge?
I have always said that I have serious concerns about Donald Trump. I have even more concerns about Joe Biden.
So is that a no? Are you bound by the RNC pledge?
The RNC pledge, I mean, at the time of the debate, we had to take it to where, would you support the nominee? And you had to, in order to get on that debate stage, you said yes. The RNC is now not the same RNC. Now it's
So you're no longer bound by that pledge?
No, I think I'll make what decision I want to make, but that's not something I'm thinking about. And I think that while y'all think about that, I'm looking at the fact that we had thousands of people in Virginia. We're headed to North Carolina. We're going to continue to go to Vermont and Maine and all these states to go and show people that there is a path forward. And so I don't look at what ifs. I look at how do we continue the conversation.
So you see, eventually she went on to answer the question. I mean, wow. It took a whole lot of repeats of the question for you to actually give a reasonable response. However, you know, she couldn't take Trump down without putting him in the same category as good old Biden. Yes, unfortunately, they've been paired. They're forever going to be paired in history as it pertains to their presidential elections. But this video today is brought to you by MidasGoldGroup.com. Now, I know it's evident that things are becoming increasingly chaotic in society as it relates to politics, and the government is grappling with a substantial ongoing debt issue. And it's this turmoil that may have an impact on our banks and financial situation. There is this push from our government and financial institutions to eliminate cash transactions and transition to a central bank digital currency. This would allow them to be able to spy on every last transaction. Scary. Exactly why it's crucial to diversify some of your investments and also secure your savings, especially in this era. And the individuals that I rely on for hedging against this current corruption are the experts over at the veteran-owned MidasGoldGroup.com. For over a decade, they have been assisting patriots nationwide in safeguarding their wealth and families through physical gold, silver, and other precious metals. And just to reiterate, gold has withstood the test of time for over 5,000 years, speaking volumes about its reliability. Real quick, pull out your phone and text Kingdom to 232425 and get you some free silver. Don't hesitate. You can also reach out to Midas Gold Group at a number displayed on the screen right now, or you can visit MidasGoldGroup.com. Look, I understand when you're trying to get your gold, you ain't trying to deal with no pushy commission-based salesman. Instead, I want you to connect with one of the veterans at Midas Gold Group, where you can even communicate directly with one of the owners. Decades of experience in the gold and silver markets. Now, I don't want you to miss out, so I'm gonna remind you one more time. Text Kingdom to 232425 right now, or call Midas Gold Group at 480-360-3000. Or lastly, visit them at MidasGoldGroup.com right now. Tell them King sent you. Yeah, man. She went on to say that she's no longer bound by the pledge of the committee, the RNC. And the one honest thing I've ever heard her, say was, hey, I signed it at the time to get on that stage. I'm like, wow, could you believe it? Some truth. But it also proves that she is willing to say and lie, and do whatever to get in that position as the president, which is something I just can't trust.
I would not run if President Trump ran.
I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president. I will not now,
not ever support raising the gas tax. Let's increase the gas tax by 10 cents over the next 3 years.
Every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat.
That I never said government should go and require anyone's name.
So I think China's been a really great friend of ours. Yes, I view China as an enemy.
That was not what I intended to say. I do not think we need to pull money from the UN.
The UN, the only thing is we would defund the UN as much as possible.
Yeah, don't vote for Nikki Haley tonight, or really ever.
You've seen it yourself, all right? You can't trust her. I can't trust her at all, just based on statements that she made. And this is a defining moment for her right now, you know what I mean? She's staying in this race because she's hoping that Donald Trump gets convicted.
Needs to stay out of it.
The Supreme Court yesterday said that they would hear the Trump presidential immunity case April 22nd. By that point, 80% of the delegates for the Republican Party have been awarded. Have you at all been disappointed that all these legal challenges are taking so long?
Well, I mean, he's going to continue to be in a courtroom for the rest of the year. And that's the problem is Republicans, if they're really focused on winning, we've got to make sure we can do that. There's no surprise when you look at any of the polls. He's down in the polls on his best day, it's margin of error. I defeat Joe Biden by 18 points. That's bigger than the presidency. That's House and Senate. And so, you know, by them doing this, I think it's fine that Supreme Court's taking it up. But look at how many other court cases, and more than that, the fact that he spent $60 million in campaign contributions on his legal fees. And now he's going to use the RNC as his legal slush fund. It's a problem.
Is this a bigger problem? Because if you look at the timeline now, if you hear this in April and then maybe the case goes, we're looking at the summer, the fall perhaps, does this bolster the argument that this is a huge problem for Republicans if you have a presidential nominee who it's September and is in a courtroom with Jack Smith?
I mean, look, some of the court cases, I think some of the political cases have been political in nature, overly political, and some he's going to have to defend himself. But I think it's important that all of that come out now so that we're not dealing with it later. I think he's hoping it comes out later so that he can make it all go away. Yeah. But either way, we've got a problem.
Wow. Okay. If Trump was not running, I would vote for anybody other than her, up to including Joe Biden. Oh, wow, because with Joe, at least you know what you get. Nikki is a snake. I mean, both of them snakes, but I get when you go in there, never Nikki. What is that? A rhino. Oh, man. She won the D.C. primary. That tells you everything you need to know about her and her intentions. It lets you know that she got some connections. You know what I mean? The Wi-Fi is working. It's the bill is paid for real. If Trump became unable to run, his delegates, as well as the rest of the people planning to vote for him, still wouldn't vote for Haley. Trump's delegates would vote for Vivek or Ron before they'd vote for Nikki. Let's go, Brenda. Oh, wow. Y'all got a new hashtag for her. Let's go, Brenda. They said Nikki is trash. I'll write in Kennedy before I vote. I'll write in Kennedy before I vote for her. I can't take if she can't beat Trump 2024, how can she say she beats JB? Makes literally no sense. God, the DC establishment and globalists really try to sell the emperor's new clothes. Wow. All right. That was some bars right there. So yeah, man, the comment section is definitely passing the vibe check. They pretty much like, look, dog, we'll vote for anybody else but you. And as Joey just posted, I can imagine that when she found out that she won the DC primary, she reacted something like this. Apparently, Trump has also responded. He said, I purposely stayed away from the DC vote because it is the, quote, swamp. With very few delegates and no upside. Bird Brain spent all of her time, money, and effort there. Over the weekend, we won Missouri, Idaho, and Michigan. Big numbers. Complete destruction of very weak opponent. The really big numbers will come on Super Tuesday. Also, way up on Cricket Joe. Now, after reading these comments, I have to give a disclaimer. You know, this is the platform that we're on. I do not want anybody out here to repeat the actions or the words used in this Truth Social post that he posted right here. I do not advise it whatsoever. Cool. And I also want to add the fact that if she's not standing with the RNC pledge, it obviously proves further conspiracy theory of her being a plant, undercover Democrat, somebody who wears a mask. And honestly, I'm convinced.
Guys, so I guess we were kind of waiting for this result. We finally got the result. Tara, your reaction to this result?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the reaction.
No, I appreciate it. I know I appreciate you giving us that. That's why I wanted to ask you.
I'm just being honest.
That's exactly what we want.
Right. Well, I'm being honest. It doesn't matter. And like I said, it didn't matter for Marco Rubio in 2016. It's not going to matter for Nikki Haley in 2024. They can use this as a talking point, a fleeting talking point, I guess. But come Tuesday, when she gets blown out in the majority of the Super Tuesday states, you're going to see that there really is no longer a path for her through as far as delegates. It's just going to wrap it up on Tuesday for the most part. So it's nice. I guess she can say she won something, I guess.
Even MSNBS sees, it ain't happening for you, Nikki. Oh, I wonder who's telling her to believe this. I have to admit, though, this picture, hilarious. I give y'all one. Y'all got one on the left. Y'all got one. But even still,
matter here. So take a look here, though. This is all, as we say, assuming that Nikki Haley does not pull off the mother of all political miracles on Tuesday, because right now, here's the Republican race. You see the delegate count, Trump by a 10-1 margin, leading Nikki Haley. And you see what's going to come up Tuesday. Let me call those up. These are all the states and all the results we've had so far. But let's call up the big one, Super Tuesday here, and just take a look at this map. And I think you'll see the challenge Haley faces. Here's all the states. And, you start. It's the map and it's the rules. California, you would think, is a great state for Nikki Haley. Closed primary. Independents can't vote. Democrats can't vote. And it's winner take all. If Trump just gets 50% plus one, he gets all 169 delegates out of California. A lot of states that are like that. Alabama's essentially a winner take all. Arkansas is essentially a winner take all here. Texas is at the statewide level, essentially winner take all as well. They also give out votes by congressional district. But if you look at those districts, they really look friendly to Trump. The bottom line for Nikki Haley, when you look at this map, 40% is not going to cut it. Unless she's winning states, winning multiple states on Tuesday, she's going to get buried in a delegate avalanche, Kristen.
How do you win your first state?
Oh, Nikki.
I mean, it's amazing to say I haven't won a state yet.
Should have dropped out. Tuesday is gonna be the day when more states are gonna reject you. By now you should have dropped out, but you're a never Trump puppet too. I don't believe that even Ron DeSantis and the special boots could help you now. Oh yeah. The backseat of an SUV where early on you were compromised. I'm not sure that everybody's heard how you're deceptive and so easily lied.
Hey.
You're not deceiving anybody with your fake campaign. We're mocking now. Oh, Nikki, so many stupid things you've done, we're finding. Your military globalist ties we're now reminding. Like others who have tried before, who ruined their careers to MAGA, they will bow. Yeah, because Nikki, you're happiest bending the knee. Saddest words of all. It's time to withdraw. Hey now, loser Nikki, taking all the Democrat money.
hey,
Saddest words of all. Time to withdraw.
Just wanted to bring you something that'll calm your spirit a little bit amidst these troubling times here in the troubling news in D.C. I mean, it's not at all really surprising. You know, the swamp runs deep out there, at least from what I'm hearing. I don't know. I haven't verified it. I ain't been there yet. So just want to make sure I put that out there for the platform.
30-40% of people showing up and voting in these primary contests for someone other than him.
Well, first of all, Shannon, it's good to be back with you. Let me first say this. In some of these early states, they allowed independents and Democrat voters to vote on the Republican side when it comes to picking a nominee in these states. And even with that influx with some independents and Democrats, Donald Trump overwhelmingly won every single state. Now we move to Super Tuesday, and let me just tell you, it's basically over already. It's going to be over Tuesday night when Super Tuesday ballots come in, because there is no path to victory for Nikki Haley. Look, on our side of the aisle, we believe in choices. We want options. The Democrats are the one who basically kicked Robert F. Kennedy out of their primary. They basically stopped Dean Phillips from being able to even try to mount a campaign against Joe Biden. Nikki Haley had an opportunity to run like everybody else. They all lost. Donald Trump's the nominee. We're going to move forward to November.
Honestly, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she flips the script and then begins to back Donald Trump once she realizes she won't be the nominee. I won't be at all surprised by that. I won't be shocked. It wouldn't move me in the slightest. I mean, because think about it. Look at all the footage that, well, not all the footage, but just the footage that we've seen of her making statements and then saying the complete opposite of those previous statements, at future times. She can't be trusted. I just kind of sit back and wonder, why does her endorsement matter anyway? And does she really think people care?